The dreams I be having. Had a dream I was falling down off of something. You know when you're on a roller coaster ride and it's going down and you can feel your stomach? I felt that while I was dreaming. And something told me, because the conscious and the subconscious was both dealing with this dream, even though I was sleeping. And the conscious told me during the subconscious portion of the dream, you're falling and you're going to crash, splash, hit the pavement, concrete, whatever, and it's going to hurt. You're going to feel it. You might not even feel it. You might just die instantly. Something said during the dream, you better open your eyes before you hit that bottom. And I opened my eyes before I hit that bottom. Something told me if I ain't open my eyes, I would have died in my sleep. You ever hear they said people die in their sleep? Everybody be like, that's the best way to die. You just went to sleep and never woke up. It was painless and so peaceful. If I gotta die, that's the way I wanna go. Something told me, you better open your eyes. If you don't open your eyes, you really not gonna open your eyes. So I opened my eyes and I was like, woo. So had I not opened my eyes, would I have died in my sleep? I don't know, but listen to your intuition or whatever's telling you, open your eyes before you hit that bottom. And I was close to the bottom. I was close to the bottom. And then I opened my eyes and the dream was over. And then I want to talk about another dream I had many years ago. But before I tell you about that dream, I want to tell you something that happened in real life. I'm pregnant at 15. 9 months later, I'm 16. I deliver my firstborn, Robert. I'm trying to find work. I don't know, during that season, either my mother was unwilling or unable to watch Robert, but I had secured a job, I forget where. I really forgot where, because I had so many jobs, but I know Robert was little. How old was little? 2 or 3 years old. He was very little, very little. And my mother, like I said, unwilling or unable, I had to find me a babysitter. My mother lived in Surfside Gardens Projects, 13-story building on the D side, had A, B, C, and D in the E side. On the east side, on the 7th floor, 8th floor, one of those floors, on the east side, it was just a bunch of 1-bedrooms and a huge 5-bedroom apartments was on the east side. So on the left was the 4 or 5-bedroom apartments. On the right of the hallway was the 1-bedrooms. And there was this lady, I forget her name. I don't want to remember her name. And I don't need to describe her, but she was obese. Maybe 5'9", 5'10", maybe close to 300 pounds. She was obese. She was ghetto motherfucking fabulous. I don't know what a nicer way to call her. But she was the only one available, only one around, only one close by that once I picked up my son, I can go straight, leave her apartment on the 7th floor and go to my apartment on the 12th with my son. I don't know what she charged me. I can't remember. But I figured let it be worth her while to give her the incentive to do it. She accepted, I agreed, I paid. It's time for me to pick up Robert. And you don't just pick up your child and leave. You pick him up. You try to get to know the babysitter. You have a conversation. And then while I'm sitting in her home, I believe she had another child around Robert's age. Not that she was babysitting, but that was actually her kid. Well, something was going on in the apartment. I can't remember. When you suffer trauma, you block a lot of shit out. So that's why I can't remember everything. I do remember me as a strategy told myself, if you engage with this woman, even though it's time to pick your son up and leave, sit with her for a while and get to know her, and while you're gone, she'll treat your child very nicely. Because things that I was seeing, I was like, my child, I don't think my child gonna die in this house, but the environment was ghetto fabulous. I don't know how else to describe it. It wasn't clean and it wasn't dirty. I just can't explain it, but I felt I probably could have had better environment had I had other options, but I didn't have options, so I took that. And the times that I sat in her house, and Robert can't be 3, or he's maybe 2.5. I believe he's walking, but I know he's not 5 and I know he's not 4. He's definitely 2, maybe 3. I'm gonna be nice and say he's 3. And this woman would see Robert doing what 2 and 3-year-olds do and didn't give a fuck that I was right there. And she would proceed to spank my child. Boop, boop, boop. Did she really go out and abuse him? No, because I would have been like, what are you doing? But she hit my child. This wasn't one time. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. And Robert is 42 now. So this was over 40 years ago. But it was more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times this woman would beat my son in front of me, and I never said nothing. And for things that really wasn't no big deal. No excuse. If Robert is 3 at this point, I'm like 18, 19. And this is my first child, and I'm young. So I don't really know parenting, and I didn't come to his rescue. Like I said, she didn't brutalize him, but she pat. Like, for me, it was unnecessary, and you did it all the time. And then you're gonna tell me you have to do it because of ABC, you have to do it because of XYZ, and I gotta go to work the next day and I need a babysitter. I was talking about dreams, but that wasn't a dream, that was for real. So I grew to dislike this lady, but I still need a babysitter. And I still went to work. I still, as a strategy, would try to be nice to this lady. So the hours that my son would be there, she wouldn't be that mean to him. And I came home from work one day after about 3 or 4 months of this lady watching him. She got evicted. They kicked her out. And I said, yes. I was glad she had no place to go. And that was probably what was stressing her out. I was giving her money. And it still wasn't enough for her to pay what she owed in rent. Knowing her with her 1-bedroom apartment and no income, but whatever I was giving her, she should have been able to afford the rent. The rent couldn't have been that much. There's people today I know pay a punk ass $135 a month when I have to pay $2 or $3 grand. But she got evicted. I said yes. And maybe because she got evicted, my mother stepped in. I can't remember what happened after that. I got the nerve to have been mad at my mother when I was 5, when my father beat me butt naked with the police belt. And I kept saying, Ma, save me, why are you not saving me? And she didn't save me. And I didn't save my son. I did the same thing and I didn't save my son. But I don't believe she beat my 3-year-old butt naked with a belt. I think she used her 300 pounds forceful hands on his pampered buttocks. I don't remember because I blocked it out. I do know that he didn't deserve it. I do know it hurt him. Okay, she gets evicted. I says, thank you, Father Jesus. And now she's no longer my son's babysitter. Thank you, Father Jesus. Thank you, Father. How many times did the Father come to my aid? Thank you, Father. Why do I bring this up? In this topic about the dreams that I have. Because it might have been 10 years later, 15 years later. By then, I had all 4 kids by now. And I had a dream about one specific kid, my second born, Ramel. And in that dream, some lady gonna tell me I beat the shit out your son. And I had to beat him because if I didn't beat him, some reasoning she gave me, and the dream had the scenario as if I asked this woman to babysit Ramel. And while she was babysitting, he did something. And that was her justification of beating him. And when I got home or got there to pick him up, she's explaining to me in the dream why she had to beat the shit out of Ramel. And in the dream, I don't argue or nothing. I don't come to Ramel's defense. I woke up from that dream so devastated, even though it was a dream. I'm up. The dream is over. I'm up. I calls Ramel. I said, Ramel, come here for a minute. Ramel is all cool. Yeah, Ma, what's up? And Ramel must have been about 8 or 9 years old. And he comes to see what his mother wants. Remember, this is not the dream. I wakes up from the dream and he's in the room playing or something, and I calls him. He says, yes, Ma. I said, Ramel, I'm sorry. He said, Ma, sorry about what? I said, I had a dream just now, and I just woke up from the dream. And this lady was explaining to me as she was babysitting you, and she explained to me why you did something. She had to whip your ass. Hello. Good. Somebody passed through the lobby. Okay, it's the weekend. Right now, it should be just me and him in the building. Somebody else? Nope, it was somebody else. It was 4 of us in the building. Me, 1 person left, there's 3 of us left, and he's the 3rd person, so it was 2 of us. But anyway, I says to Ramel, I'm sorry. He said, Mom, why? What? What you saying sorry to me for? And I tell him, the lady is explaining to me why she had to whip your ass. And instead of me cursing her out off, excuse me. Hello? Hello? Oh boy, I'm doing a video now. All of a sudden, things is happening. Somebody was trying to get into the garage. I see they made it in. If it's who I think it is, they'll be coming up to the lobby in a minute. Let me see if that's who I think it is. The boss's daughter. That's not her. Okay. I said, I didn't fuck the bitch up. I ain't curse her out in the dream, nothing. It was like, okay. But it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay in real life when the lady did it to Robert, and it ain't okay to the bitch in the dream that did it to Ramel. But because of the trauma that I went through with Robert and the babysitter, and then it manifests itself in my subconscious in a dream with Ramel, I was supposed to check that because this is baby number 2. If I already have 4 kids, why did I dream this out of that specific child, number 2? Because I was supposed to learn my lesson from baby number 1, and when it manifested in the dream with child number 2, the bitch was supposed to get the business. Oh, she's coming upstairs. It is the boss's daughter. She just parked someplace else. All right, I gotta be quiet for a minute. She's coming up. She gonna pass through. So, I said, Ramel, I'm sorry, because I should have fucked the bitch up in a dream, and I didn't defend you, I didn't come to your aid. And now that the dream is over and I'm awake, I feel bad that I didn't come to your defense as your mother. And I'm sorry, please, please forgive me. My 9-year-old son looked at me. Why the elevator ain't coming? He looked at me weird, like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Homegirl's in the elevator coming from the garage, so she'll be here in 3 seconds. Let me let her in. Or just greet her if she's coming out. Oh no, she went straight up. She passed the lobby. Okay, that wasn't who I thought it was. That's not the boss's daughter. Of course, because you ain't even parking her spot. Okay, she passed the lobby and went to her office, whoever that was. She looked like the boss's daughter. Okay, so now there's 5 of us in the building, 4 of us. Okay, thought she was coming here. But Ramel looked at me like, I don't have a clue what Mom is talking about, but I see she's visibly upset about this. And Ramel didn't understand. I'm fine, ain't nobody bothered me, and you're apologizing. That's the type of parent I am. Even in a dream, if I felt I did you dirty in the dream, I'm gonna wake up and apologize. This nigga husband of mine think it's okay every weekend to text me, and I told him stop texting me. I'm not your weekend side piece, bitch. You with your woman, leave me alone. What the fuck? The birthday is in 4 days. I hope you do something special. I don't care if you don't respond. Bum motherfucker. So, yeah, it was that dream. This video is just on some bugged out ass dreams I be having. And then I'll wrap up with this last one I just had this morning. It didn't tell me who, but in the dream, one of the people appeared to be one of my bosses. One of my bosses is a tall guy and a huge guy, close to 300 pounds, if not 300. I'm 5'9", he might be 6'1", big dude. But I couldn't see clearly to say yes, that was him, but it was a figure similar to him. So I'm thinking it's my boss. Somehow, some way, him, me, and I think one other person is on the top of a building. The dream don't tell me what building, but now that I'm woke, I'm gonna assume it's one of the buildings. Since it's my boss, it's one of the buildings I work in. But in the dream, the building doesn't look like none of the buildings I work in. But I'm telling myself it represents one of the buildings that I work in. We're on the roof, but we're not on the roof. We're like on the edge of the roof. There's some type of sculpture on the roof's edge. Like maybe like you can keep your hand around it and sit on the ledge. But now you're not on the roof, you're on the edge. And the roof is on the left, the edge is in the middle, and on the right, you just drop, because there's nothing there. So if you're not holding that sculpture and you don't got a good seating on the edge, you can fall off the roof. So in front of me, I'm facing this way, and as I look in front of me, my boss is on the ledge also, and he's wrapped around the sculpture so he can't tip and fall. The dream starts right at that location. It doesn't have me and him going to the roof and going on the ledge. It just has us both there. That's how the dream starts. And I said it was another person because it was another person, and they might have been back that way, but I didn't want to turn because I might have tipped, but I know somebody's there because they had one or two things to say, but they ain't say much else, but I knew somebody else was behind me. And as the dream is proceeding, I says to my boss, I says, you know what? I'm on here on this ledge. I'm all right now, but I don't feel good. I feel like after a while I'm a fall. I can't do this. And he's much bigger. Remember, this figure is much bigger. And he's like, oh, it's good. Just sit still. You only gonna be over here. Somebody's in the elevator. Are you going back to the garage or are you coming out here on the first floor? Let me see. Was you ringing the bell or something?
Yeah, sorry. That was,
Oh, because I said hello, and then a car backed up.
sorry about that. Thank you.
Okay, I was trying. Let me go behind her and lock the door. Let me see. Make the click noise, please. It didn't make the click noise. I gotta go lock the door. So the boss is proceeding to tell me, I'm good. I said, you good? Because he's much fatter and bigger and more of his body is putting weight on the ledge. And, you know, a bigger person should be more unstable than me on the ledge. But he got his legs stretched and crossed and got his arm around the thing, and he's telling me I'm good. I'm like, wow, really? And he proceeds to tell me, I'm a paraphrase because I don't remember, even though I just woke up from this dream this morning, and it's 12:18 p.m. right now. And he says, yeah, I'm a paraphrase. In another hour, after these things pass by, then we can get off the ledge and we'll be all right. I'm a paraphrase what I told him. I said, an hour? I'm unstable right now. I don't think I can last that long. I'm gonna need help. Like, you're gonna be fine. You sure? As he's saying this, whatever is supposed to pass by, I'm seeing it pass by. There's a vision that's showing, I don't know if it's showing events, or even though I'm on the ledge, it's like a moving car where you could sightsee different things, and I'm seeing things. I'm gonna just paraphrase because it's hard to describe. But if you're on the highway and you know the scenery of the highway because you frequent that road all the time, and you're on exit 1, but you get off at exit 7. So while I'm on the ledge, I see exit 1, and all of the scenery from exit 1, exit 2, and I know the boss said exit 7 is when I can get the fuck off this ledge. So the visions while I'm on the ledge, I can see exit 1, all the scenery connected to 1, connected to 2, connected to 3, so I know I'm closer to not falling. And I can get off this ledge. But I'm telling the boss, while exit 1, I'm not gonna make it. Probably by exit 4, I'm gonna fall. And he's telling me, you good. You good. You think you're gonna fall, but you ain't gonna fall. And I looks down, and it looks like if I fall, I'ma die. It's concrete. It's there's no way I can live with what I see down below. The dream got the number 6 so vivid. I don't know if it was 6 feet, 6 stories tall, 6 something, but 6 is a strong number in this dream. That number is something. And so, exit 3 scenery, exit 4, I see I'm getting close. We almost at exit 7, but at exit 6, I'm feeling very unstable, like this is it, I'm gonna fall. And I goes to the boss. Remember, the person behind me is very quiet, but they on the ledge too. They not speaking to me or the boss. But my dream is telling me there's another figure behind me. And when we like one exit away and I goes to the boss to say, boss, it's no way, even though we right here, I'm not gonna make it. And when I go there to say that to the boss is off the ledge. I get a sense that the other person behind me is off the ledge and I'm still on the ledge. And I'm like, yo, how am I gonna get down? I can't, I'm gonna die. I can't. They already gone. And I look below, I said, oh my God, I'm gonna die because ain't nobody coming to help me, and I'm feeling like I can't hang on and hold on much longer. And the next thing I know, I'm about to fall. Do I fall? I don't fall. I'm about to fall. And as soon as I'm about to fall, I wakes the fuck up. And the dream is over. Remember Joseph the dreamer? Not the dreamer, the interpreter of dreams. He's in the Bible. He got hating ass siblings, envious ass siblings. They mad jealous of Joseph. It's in the Bible, look it up. They mad jealous of him. And because they mad jealous of him, and they think the father got favoritism over him. The father don't have favoritism over him. The father loved all his sons. And the father tells all his sons, I don't know, I'm a paraphrase, but sons, go out and flock the sheep or till the land, or they had some chores they had to do, and it was a distance away from the home. And they said, okay, I don't know, was it 5 brothers, 6 brothers, a couple of brothers, no daughters. And Joseph was one of the sons. And him and his brothers went, and what Joseph didn't know was his brothers was plotting. They was plotting. I can't remember the full story, if they knocked him out unconscious or pushed him down a ditch. Somehow, some way, they schemed and plotted and thought he died, which he didn't wind up dying, but his brothers thought he died, that they got rid of him. And now when we go back and tell Father what happened, Father's favorite son is going to be gone, and now we can feel like we're his favorites too. And they go back to their father and they tell the father, and the father is weeping in depression that his beloved son is gone. The brothers acting like they sad too, but they so fucking happy they got Joseph. And what they don't know, Joseph survives his ordeal, but he's initially locked up. What crime, I don't remember, but the next village or town over locks him up. And when they locks him up, he's in the prison talking to some inmates that's also locked up. The cellmate to his left and the cellmate to his right. One of the cellmates said, "Oh wow, I just woke up and I had a dream." He describes the dream to Joseph, and then Joseph tells him, interprets the dream and lets him know, this ain't prison where you get out and you're free after serving your time. You're getting the death penalty. And the inmate said, "What? Death?" And Joseph said, "Yeah, you said this happened. You said that happened. Based on what you're saying, my interpretation is tomorrow you're going to die. They're going to execute you. And I'm not trying to scare you or nothing. This is just the interpretation based on the dream." I don't know if the inmate believed him or not, but that next day or before that week was out, the Department of Correction back in that day exterminated that inmate. Word got around in the prison, "Yo, this dude right here, he told homeboy what was going to happen," and sure enough, that's exactly how it happened. Because I think he said something to the effect, the inmate said something about a basket on his head and flowers. I can't remember exactly. But to Joseph's interpretation, the basket and the flowers meant that after they killed you, all of the birds and the feathers is going to come flying at your beheading or something. Something, I forget, but those symbols matched exactly that next day. Everything happened like Joseph interpreted. I think a second inmate said something, and Joseph interpreted his dream, and when it came to pass, it was exactly how Joseph said. Word reaches the king of that land, of that village, whatever. "Yo, it's some guy you got locked up in here, and he's, whatever he say after somebody had a dream, it's coming the fuck true." The king said, "Oh really? Sir, You're the king. I'm your servant. I'm not trying to tell you no lies. I'm not trying to play no games. But you need to check out homeboy because he got some spirit science something. And you need to take a look at that. And so the king said, get him out of his cell and bring him to me. Let me throw these away. They bring Joseph out the cell. He comes to where the king is at. The king sitting in his nice fancy chair. They got Joseph in his inmate clothes, right at his foot basically, on the floor, in front of the king in his big tall chair. And other people's near the king. And then the king says, I've heard you've been in your cell interpreting people's dreams. And when the dreams come true, they said the dreams come true after you interpret it. What kind of spooky magic are you indulged in? And Joseph said to the king, respectfully, sir, it's not spooky magic. I don't know where this gift comes from that I have, but on these 2 occasions, my inmate colleagues reported a dream that they had to me, and this is how I came about their interpretation. And the king says, so if I got a dream, and if I tell you everything about the dream, do you think you'll be able to interpret it? And Joseph said to the king, I don't know where this gift comes from. I don't know if the gift will come again. But if you had a dream and you tell me the dream, if the gift arises that I can interpret it for you, I will gladly interpret it for you. It won't be no spook, it won't be no magic. It'll be a true interpretation. And so the king proceeds to tell Joseph about this dream that he had. And when the king finished telling Joseph what the dream was about, Joseph told the king, sir, if I was you, I'll ration up enough food and enough water for the next 7 years. I'm just paraphrasing. Because based on what you told me, I'm interpreting that your community, your land, your village, and your people will suffer famine, starvation, and death if you don't have 7 years of stockpile of food and water. There won't be no rain to grow the crops, no rain to collect for water and washing and drinking and cleaning. And your neighbors, they are going to have plenty of rain and plenty of food. And your people not only will suffer famine, disease, no water, you won't really have a nation and you won't be considered king amongst your people and amongst your neighbors. That is the interpretation, sir. And the king was like, word? And Joseph was like, word? This is what the interpretation is. Like, I hope I'm not telling the truth, but it's so vivid coming to me that this is what it is. Now, you don't have to believe me, but if it happens, just know you've been forewarned. The king orders his subordinates and his people to stockpile 7 years of food and water in anticipation of a long, drawn-out famine. And his community and his land and his peoples, they did that. And after they did that, as soon as they finished, sir, all the stockpiles is in this location, and if it happens, we're good. We only got 7 years, we ain't got 8. So if it lasts 8 years, we'll be in trouble for a year. But right now, the 7 years, we good, sir. And then the next thing you know, just as Joseph interpreted, famine struck that king's land and his people. And when they marked the beginning of the famine and when it ended, it was exactly 7 years as Joseph's dream interpreted, as the king's dream Joseph interpreted. Because the king was forewarned, he gave Joseph a title in the kingdom. Not the king, but damn near close to it. Everybody in that community under that king had to listen and do whatever Joseph said. Like the king is the owner and Joseph is the manager. And so he can let the king know, I did this, I did that, but he runs the motherfucking show. Meanwhile, all of the neighboring countries suffered the famine for 7 years. They suffered, their people died, everything, no water. What was they doing? They heard that the king had 7 years stockpile. Had 7 years stockpile. And they went to the next door country. King, please give us something or our people is dying. And he proportioned it where he can give away some and still have enough for his people, that his people won't be in trouble. Because besides the country stockpile for the country, the citizens did their own personal stockpile. So when they run out, then their government, their king, can help them with the rest. So they have plenty of surplus extra to give to the neighboring countries that asked for it. What Joseph will come to find out is that his brothers and his father and his family was under the same famine, starvation, and all of that. And the father sent his sons out again. Look, go to that king and tell him that we need this or we're gonna die. Please, son, go and please come right back. And there's no trains, planes, automobiles back then. It's slow-ass camel, slow-ass donkey, and your feet. And it's probably bare feet, no shoes. So let's say it takes 2 weeks to walk to get to the king, and another month maybe to get back, carrying all of the whatever. The brothers get there, and they see Joseph. They don't even recognize Joseph, because Joseph is very close to king status. His clothing is pure and he just looks elegant. He looks regal. He don't look poor. Like the brothers looked raggedy. The clothes might have been clean, but they was musty from the traveling and dirty, and you can tell the difference. That's all I'm saying. So at first, the brothers didn't recognize their brother. And I guess you can't even look regal in the eye, face to face, because you're in humility and you're on your knees, kneeling in acknowledgement. And so you humble yourself. Sir, we were sent by our father. His name is, I forgot the father's name. Abraham. I don't want to get me to lying. But our father sent us. It's him and his sons and the few flock of sheep, and we come from this town, and they said if we come to you that you can give us some stuff to bring back home. Can you please help us? They are talking to their brother Joseph, and they have no idea that he is he. Because it's the last time they checked, they knocked him down the hole and he died. So this cannot be their brother. But when the brother recognizes them, because he's naming the name of his father, and he see all of the brothers, and he starts asking more questions, and yeah, we from this town, and how many children did your parents have? Oh, and they had this many, but one of them died, and his name was Joseph. Joseph knew what his brothers didn't know, and he walks out the room, and he cries. He like, these is my hating ass motherfucking brothers. They don't even fucking know who I am. Look how God saved me and blessed me after some shit they did to me. It hurts that my own brethren, blood brothers, would do this to me. And then he cried in grief, sorrow, and then he gained his composure back, came back in the room, and he let the brothers know, I am your brother Joseph, the nigga y'all threw down in the hole and thought I was dead because y'all was some hating ass, jealous motherfuckers. You see me now? How you like me now? The only one I'm feel sorry for is Dad, because he loved all of us, and he got some fucked up sons. But I'm going to send this money, I'm going to send all this stuff back home. And just know, y'all some fucked up brothers. And the brothers is all in shame and embarrassment. And I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. Are you sorry for what you did? Or are you sorry you got caught from what you did? Which fucking sorry is it? Which sorry is it? Which sorry is it? It's time for these braids to come out. Please don't tell Father, because if you tell Father, he's gonna be mad at what we did. Please don't let Daddy know nothing. I think that's what they said. Don't tell Father. So, but the brothers knew, and Dad didn't, and Joseph sent all the food back home. And I think he remained in that kingdom or whatever. I have to look up the story again because I forgot how it really ends. But yeah, that's what happens when you got fucked up siblings. I talk about toxicity and dysfunction as it relates to your own family. Those be the main ones that will fuck you over. So, getting back to that dream, I proceeds to fall off the ledge and I wakes up before I fall. And I'm trying to interpret what the fuck that means. Does it mean that my boss and somebody else is plotting and I think my job is secure and I'm gonna find out it's not? That's where the fall comes. I'm about to get off the ledge, like doing, is it in the back of my mind that I already know there's a plot on the job against me? I already know it, but I don't really know how fast it's coming, but the dream is letting me know. I don't know what the interpretation means. Where does the 6 come in at? We're in the 8th month, so it's not 6 as in June. We're in the 11th day of the 8th month, so it's not like it's the 6th day. I'm not Joseph, so I can't figure out what the dream was about, but that's the dream I woke up to this morning. I'm at a ledge about to fall to the concrete and die. Don't know how I got there. 2 people are on the ledge. One of them looks like my boss. One of my bosses, the big, tall, heavyset one. He tells me everything is good, and before I know it, him and the other person is off the ledge, and I'm on there. When I realize I'm by myself up there, I freak out, and now I'm even more shaky and fragile than I was before. And exit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's where the 6 might have come in at, because I done passed the 6 exits, and the last exit is 7, when my boss said, if you just hang on, you'll be off. And now approaching the 7th exit, the boss and the other person is off the ledge. I'm still on it, And as soon as I get ready to tip over and fall to the concrete, I wakes up. The dreams that I be having, Lord have mercy. Well, that's going to be it on this video. Until you take the plank out your eye, stop talking about the sawdust of speck or the speck of sawdust in somebody else's eye. Jesus is saying you can be qualified to talk about somebody and they shit. But before you do that, make sure your shit is correct. You sat there, and I think you made another video about how your mother didn't come to your defense when your daddy beat you butt naked with a police belt at the age of 5 for opening up the door to the neighbor downstairs. Remember that? You was 5 years old. Knock, knock. Who is it? The neighbor downstairs. She was like 12. You opened the door. My mommy said, do y'all got some sugar? I know the girl. They live downstairs. We live upstairs. Oh, okay. I'll get the sugar. I couldn't reach it or didn't know where it was at. I'm 5. She definitely didn't know where it was at. She don't live there. Come with me to mommy and daddy room and we get the sugar for you, okay? This is my 5-year-old self talking, okay? I'm 59. We're talking 54 years ago. In 4 more days, I'll be 59. We're talking 54 years ago. And I walks homegirl to the parents' bedroom, open the door, and they both are butt naked, fucking the night away. Did I know that? I'm 5. Do I even know about fucking? Nope. Also at 5, do I even know? Like, if I knew, I wouldn't have brought her there. That's why I shouldn't have got my ass beat. I probably should have got scolded, but not my ass beat. I got my ass beat like I knew what they was doing and still walked that girl to the room. And the painful part of that is you got caught naked. So I got to whip your ass naked. Some people get their ass whipped with their clothes on. He took my clothes off. My daddy took his security guard, what I call police belt, and whipped me mercilessly. I'm only 5 years old. And that belt hurt. And I screamed. And I screamed, and I screamed, and I looked at my mother and said, help me, save me. And she did not come to save me at 5. And I'm sitting there talking about this bitch whipping my kid's ass at 3 and 4, and I'm right there, and I don't save him. My son at 42 never came to me and said, Ma, I got beat and you never came to save me. Why? And then I would have explained why, like I explained in this video. But I did confront my mother and my father some 30 plus years later. And instead of them saying, I'm sorry, and this is why. They both act like they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like I had a dream and made this shit up. No, that was real. I got the mark on my titty to prove it. Because the buckle, in case I blocked it out of subconscious and said, oh, maybe it was a dream. No, I got a mark on my breast. I didn't have breast at 5. But while you was beating me naked, the buckle of the belt scraped my skin, and a nice scar from the belt buckle, 54 years later, is still on my skin, on the breast area. And it took a long time for any man that I let touch me, fondle or suckle the breast because of that scar. So don't act like mom was like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. Dad was like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. But you know what I'm talking about. Because to your credit, Father, you never put your hands on me ever again. I never got another ass whooping from you ever again. So you and Mom must have had some talk about that beating. And you said, okay, I won't do it ever again, and you never did it again. But my mother, in her pain, could not get herself to say, yes, this happened and I'm sorry. So I am going to have that conversation with Robert the next time I see him. Like I had the conversation with Ramel, and I said, Ramel, I'm sorry. Even though it was a dream, it wasn't for real. I dreamt I let somebody whip his ass. It never happened to Ramel. But I apologize for something that happened in a dream. And now I gotta apologize to Robert. And I'm gonna see him tomorrow. Today is Sunday. I'm gonna see him Monday. So, I do these YouTube videos because they're therapeutic. I've heard from different places you need therapy. And you know a lot of black people don't do therapy. So, to promote my healing, which I have to heal from many things I'm healing from. Which one, if it's 13 major and 88 minors, which healing am I tackling? Do I have to get a book, the healing book? And one chapter is the beating at 5 years old. The other chapter is when my children's father and his 2 brothers raped me. The other chapter is when my children's father beat me throughout 10 years and 4 children. Another chapter 28 years of doing everything for my husband. And then when he gets everything he wants from me, he drops me. I didn't get credit for nothing. Nothing I did. That one, what was that? 4 or 5 things. There's so many other things to heal from. YouTube, I'm not seeking likes and subscriptions. I am a private person. If this dude blows up, it has to blow up after I'm dead and gone. But for now, this is the therapy. My stupid ass husband is harassing me. Birthday is in 4 days. I hope you do something special. I don't care if you don't respond. Thanks. Prayer emojis, heart emojis, and ha 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 funny emojis. Stupid. I ain't got shit to say to you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. You're lucky I don't block you. That nigga ain't got nothing better to do. He with his bitch, everything, but he still think every weekend I can just bother her. What husband do you know only wants to deal with his wife by phone, by text every fucking Sunday? That nigga. And he think my self-esteem is so shot. He gave me something. The nigga told me a month ago, you lucky I'm even communicating with you once a week. Excuse me, I'm lucky. No, bitch, I was lucky when I hit the $15,000 jackpot in the casino and they took 6,000 taxes and gave me 9 grand. That was lucky. What was lucky, I walked in a different day with $840 in the casino and walked out with 6,000. That was motherfucking lucky, not the fucking shit you talking about. I ought to be lucky that I'm even communicating with you once a week. Don't feel sorry for me. Oh, he won't communicate. Oh, he communicated. It's Sunday. At least I hear from him once a week. Nigga, that's... I know my self-esteem is shot, but motherfucker, please. I'm stronger than that. I caved in a couple of times, bitch. I caved into dick plenty of times, bitch. Yo dick, my children's father's dick, the black man dick. Mighty funny, I don't cave into no other dick but the black dick. Ain't no Asian, white, Hispanic, European, none of those dicks faze me. I'm all about the black dick. Not no more. Not no more. Y'all gay, y'all incarcerated, y'all love the video games, y'all Republican, y'all Democrat. Woo. Y'all a lot of things that y'all should not be. And I can't fuck with you. Can't fuck with you. So need to get me a sandwich from across the street. For lunch, because I already got dinner. Take my ass home after this shift is over and start my next week. Major changes is coming for the rest of August. We're at August 11th, and by September the 1st, a lot of major changes. So,
what's the basis? We ain't going nowhere but got suits and cases.
see y'all later. Raheem.